Good morning. Welcome to Brewtiful Morning, Main Street. Oh, okay. Good morning. You got it started off right. Thank you. Got it started off right. Welcome to Brewtiful Morning in Main Street, Rutherford. Thank you for joining us every Friday morning at 8:30 as we try to get to you and let you know what's happening in our community. Be sure and tell family and friends. Let's get as many people on here as we possibly can. My name is Jimmy Dancy. I'm the proud mayor of this wonderful town of Rutherford. And tell them your name.
William.
What?
William.
William.
Liam.
Liam, that's your friend's name.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you being here. Jackson does have a joke. We'll try this. You ready?
Yeah.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
No, they say who's there.
Who's there, Jackson?
Boo.
Boo hoo.
They say boo.
Boo-hoo.
Not boo hoo.
Boo
Bow wow.
wow. I don't know what I'm saying anymore.
Well, that's okay. That's all right. Sometimes we're in the same place. We don't always say it. But thank you again for joining us. Thanks, Magnolia and Doug working in the control room and getting us on board every morning. Every Friday morning, we can get out of here on a quick note. Thank you for being here. Join us next Friday again. Thank you. I'll turn it over to you guys.
Mayor, I have to say thank you because I think you have the hardest role in the morning of just wrangling Jackson. So thank you for having him on here and going through the jokes and everything.
This is wrangling. Yes, it is. Thank you.
Right.
Have a good day, Jackson.
Bye.
All right, so we're gonna drop a Jackson and a Mayor Jimmy, and we're gonna bring it into John. So good morning, John Miller from Blue Ridge Hope.
Hey guys, how are y'all?
Good. Do you have a knock knock joke for us this morning?
And
you don't have to.
I can always do a knock knock joke from my favorite show, The Office, with my good buddy Dwight here. So knock knock.
Who's there?
The KGB.
The KGB who?
Boom, the KGB waits for no one. If you don't watch the show, then it's probably not funny and you think I'm crazy. So
good job, John. Good job. All right. So most of y'all maybe have known John, but if you're just tuning in this week to Brewtiful Mornings, John Miller is with Blue Ridge Hope, and he runs the place. Does more than just runs the Hope House, but and programs there. Just like everyone at Blue Ridge Hope, I'm sure they wear many hats and many outreach programs, but really providing mental health awareness, and safe places for our youth to gather and just be themselves to grow. So, John, thanks for being here this morning. You've got some fun stuff coming up at the Hope House, and I'm sure we can talk all kinds of things about Blue Ridge Hope too. So, I'm gonna kind of turn it over to you and let you run with it.
Well, I appreciate you guys letting me be on here, and I hope everyone's having a great morning. I got to also make sure, so I'm full-time director of community engagement at Blue Ridge Hope, but I have to make sure I give also shout out to, I'm the youth pastor at First Baptist Rutherfordton here on Main Street. And so I've been there for 6.5 years, but came on full-time at Blue Ridge back in August. So I run Hope Works, our after-school program, and we meet every Wednesday and Thursday. So our middle schoolers meet on Wednesdays and our high schoolers on Thursdays. And just to give you a point of reference, this past week, we had the most in both groups we've ever had. We had like 12 middle schoolers on Wednesday, which is really like 36, because for every one middle schooler, they count as 3, if y'all know. And I had 15 high schoolers yesterday. So we really have grown. It's been exciting to watch. And we've been in partnership with Kid Senses and the Norris Library. And people have come in, and NAMI, the National Alliance of Mental Illness. And we've had different groups coming in to do leadership things and discussions and activities with them. It's been really great. And we've really worked with isothermal with a high school group to try to help teach our students about all the things they have available there. But this Saturday, which is tomorrow, right? Today's Friday, because I'm on this call. Saturday, tomorrow night, from 6:30 to 9 p.m., we have an 80s themed vibe night. There's the flyer. Yes. I love that flyer. It is that I spent way too much time on that because I couldn't pick what my favorite 80s themed graphics were. Um, so there's the flyer, and it's from 6:30 to 9. That's for middle and high school students. Magnolia, you want to like tell us your favorite part of that flyer? Like, what's your favorite part?
It's really hard to pick. I'm really gonna have to go with like the old Game Boy because
Yeah.
everybody calls me young. I know that I'm young, but I had one of these. It was purple.
Yep.
Mhm.
I had one that was the black and white screen, and we played Tetris on it, and that's really all I remember because it's been a while. But we are gonna have free food. We have actually spaghetti and breadsticks provided by my good friend Steve Chappell. He's got a small church in Forest City called Hope Church. And so he and his church are going to be providing the food. And in addition to snacks and like chips and desserts, we have like all kinds of fun stuff going on, and it's going to be free chocolate, free hot coffee, iced coffee, hot chocolate, and all that stuff. Trying to think of what else. And so obviously everyone's coming dressed in their best 80s attire. I am personally going to be an 80s old school rapper. So I've got like the fake gold chain and the ring and the glasses and the flat bill hat. And instead of Marky Mark, I think I'm going by Johnny John, but it's not as cool. And I don't have nearly the muscles that Marky Mark had.
I'm just curious what this playlist is going to sound like in the background during this whole night. That's what I mean.
Well, my good friend Alexa, and thinks I'm talking to her right now. Is just going to have an 80s playlist going, and we've already decorated for it, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So middle and high school students, if you know any, please spread the word and let them know. And adults, if you just want to drop by and see what we're doing and see how the local support of the community, is so good to us and helps fund what we're doing. It's at 6:54. That's a great question. Tomorrow night, 6:30 to 9 p.m. at the Blue Ridge Village, same space as Davis Donut.
You can call them at 867-5309.
That's it. But you have to sing it while you're calling 86753. Yeah. So, but it'll be at the Blue Ridge Village. It's at 654 West Main Street in Forest City. And there's the flyer. You may have seen that around town. So that's where it's going to be. It's going to be a lot of fun. So if anyone has questions while we're on here, I'd be happy to answer those. But yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited.
Okay, so John, I have a question for high schoolers or middle schoolers who obviously were not alive during the 80s. Unfortunately, I was not yet. What kind of pieces of apparel will suit for this 80s attire?
Magnolia, I can step in here too, because that's that generational split there. I mean, you got to go with the baggy pants.
Yep.
Real baggy, either like shiny material baggy, like a jogging pant, like a jogging suit, warm-up suit would be good if you got one of those stashed in the closet.
Yep.
3-stripe Adidas, just
honestly, here's what for students who don't know, I tell them, you watch Stranger Things, right? Anything from Stranger Things, because it's literally rooted in the 80s. So you can do anything from that. Big hair, like Scoop is on here. Big hair, like really bright colors, like the wind pants. But literally, if you watch, there you go. If you watch Stranger Things, you can steal any of that. I tell you what's really funny. Patrick Morehouse from Kid Senses was working with us this week, and he had the perfect 80s shirt on, and it literally matched the backdrop we have. I mean, if he would have stood next to our backdrop, he would have like disappeared. Like it was so perfect. So,
everybody's got one of these smartphones. Just you could go with the John Cougar Mellencamp look, or you could go with LL Cool J. Just Google those two things. If you don't know who they are, you're missing out. But
Yeah, it's
Or you could always go with the classic Michael Jackson look. I mean, he was the
You
king of the
could.
80s.
yeah. It depends on
Bring your
like,
lion with you or your monkey.
yeah. So, but yeah, the good thing is you can just Google 80s fashion or just watch Stranger Things. But it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to definitely have some Bon Jovi playing. And
Ooh, yeah.
like, so some of the music I like Guns N' Roses, like, and Metallica, like they kind of blend the 80s and 90s, and they're still around today. But we're going to have some quality music going on. So it's going to be great. Some jelly bracelets.
Amy. I feel like Amy's going to crash your party.
That's all right. Come on.
Yeah. Good deal. All right. Well, hey, John. So thanks for hopping in with us this morning. I want you to stick with us because Magnolia and I are trying some new stuff with Brewtiful Mornings. And so one of the things we're trying is kind of like popping folks in. We've got a lot of town announcements, and we're going to get to those at some point. You know, hopefully if we don't, you follow our feed and it's just a duplication of effort. So we're trying to do this like phone a friend thing where we get somebody on the phone, and the idea is that, you know, then we can just kind of ask them what's going on with their business, ask them what's going on with, you know, with their special announcements, whatever the case may be, right? So today we are going to be phoning in a friend, and it's a friend of yours as well. And I thought, well, why not just phone him in while John's here?
Okay.
What do you think?
Sure.
All right. So
It's a surprise for both of us, John.
yeah.
Okay.
So you guys are good. It's going to be all good. She knows we're calling. Phone's ringing.
Hello.
Good morning, Reagan.
Good morning.
So Reagan Johnson, who's our children and youth librarian at Norris Library, is on this morning. So thank you for joining us.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
So obviously, you know, Magnolia is on Brewtiful Mornings, but we've also got John Miller on.
Oh, hi, John.
Hi, Reagan.
All right. So just wanted to phone in to Reagan this morning so we could start off with the phone a friend kind of theme here. Reagan, today is a story time, just like most Fridays at Norris Library, right?
It is at 10:30.
10:30.
Excuse me if I'm out of breath. I've been setting up for story time and getting ready for it this morning.
No worries. So what is today's story?
So since yesterday was Groundhog Day, I thought it would be cute to read a couple stories about Groundhog Day. So we've got one about a little groundhog that won't go to sleep, one about a groundhog that loses his shadow, and then another one that doesn't want to sleep either. So we've got some kind of mischievous groundhogs this morning.
Fantastic. And I totally missed Groundhog Day. Did anybody catch that yesterday? What was the outcome?
He said more winter, so I'm a little disappointed, but we're going to make the best of it this morning. We've got a cute little pop-up groundhog craft today. We'll do a little game, all sorts of fun stuff today.
How was cutting the rest of the bears out or groundhogs out yesterday?
Well, it went. I got them. They're very tiny, but I did it, and we're ready.
Well, I know that, you know, more winter is not what everybody wanted, but our guys down at Public Works haven't got a chance to push any snow this year. So if we're going to get some more winter, I mean, hopefully we can get a little bit of snow.
Right.
No, the comments are coming in. More winter. Kevin Lane said 6 more weeks of rain. Kevin, we don't need 6 more. No, January was literally the wettest January ever. We don't need any more of that.
Absolutely not.
Oh, Chimney Rock's groundhog. Pumpkin says early spring. So maybe the local forecast.
I trust that one more.
Yeah, he's more of a local. He's a Roco kind of guy.
How do they determine like what groundhog it's to make the call?
I don't know.
Maybe it's like
sure
a
what kind of
whack-a-mole game. You know,
Whichever one we catch.
Which we have plenty of groundhogs here in Rutherfordton. I mean, they could just. I mean,
that is true.
I think it's like the town animal.
Town mascot. Well, there's one in Kiwanis Park that I've tried to make friends with, and he wasn't quite interested.
All right, Reagan. Well, we're going to let you go. I'm just kidding.
I'm thinking of Caddyshack, like an 80s movie with the groundhog. Isn't that a groundhog that's going around the golf course?
Yeah, because he said golfers. I want you to go get all the golfers.
That's right.
If I get all the golfers,
The golfers.
All right. Well, Reagan, thanks for joining us this morning on Phone a Friend. Good luck with Groundhog theme story time, Norris Library, 10:30 every Friday, right?
Just about. And if it happens to not be, we try to post and make sure. And sometimes we even do an off-site story time, but we always make sure to post that.
Fantastic. Thank you for letting us call you this morning. And good luck today at story time. Hope you have a big crowd.
Bye, Reagan.
Bye.
All right, that's going to be fun. That's going to be a fun little segment. I saw we need groundhog shirts for Rutherton next. So Monty over at Small Town Coffee Roasters did some cool shirts. You need to go check those out.
Capital kudzu of the world.
Yeah, kudzu capital of the South. I think was what it said.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Good stuff. Well, John, again, thank you for popping in with us this morning. I know you've got a busy agenda too. We're going to kind of transition over to town business, but before we do, just remind everybody one more time about HopeWorks and the Vibe Night, and definitely give folks a little plug for your other job over at First Baptist too. So plug us out, and we appreciate you being with us.
Yeah, thank y'all so much again. So we have an 80s Vibe Night tomorrow night from 6:30 to 9 p.m. You'll see these flyers around town. It's for middle and high school students. It's at 654 West Main Street, which is the Blue Ridge Village. Also, Davis Donut. Free food, coffee, fun. It really has been beautiful to watch it grow this year. It's just not a whole lot of place for students to go and just be together and have fun. And I need to plug in that we just renovated our very back space. It used to be like a storage unit or storage room area when it was How Coffee and even the Blue Ridge Coffee Shop. We just renovated that room and it looks fantastic. So we have more room for people to come. It's going to be a lot of fun. And again, HopeWorks every Wednesday for middle schoolers, Thursday for high schoolers from 3:30 to 6. Just a safe place for students to gather and be in a safe community if they need help with homework. We also have free food there every Wednesday and every Thursday. And we give coffee, not to our middle schoolers, but to our high schoolers. We have to have some boundaries. And then again, I'm the youth minister at First Baptist, and, we have services every Sunday. We have just hired a new children's minister there. So a lot of exciting things going on there. And then I work with the youth and just, such a great place. And they're so community minded and all about, like we were part of the Stronger Together service that happened the other week. And this past Sunday, and it was fantastic. So if you're looking for a place to worship, we would love to have you there as well on Sundays or anytime throughout the week we have activities.
Awesome. Well, John, again, thank you for hopping in this morning, and appreciate all the work you're doing, both with the church and with Blue Ridge Hope. And tell all of our friends down the hall this morning, good morning, and tell them we miss them. We got to get back with some of our other buddies over at Blue Ridge Hope. You guys are doing amazing work in the community. Continue to do and fill the need that's there. So thank you so much.
Thank y'all so much for letting me be here.
Hi, John.
Hi, y'all.
All right. Well, I hate that Mayor Dancy popped off, but it's been a busy week here at town. It feels like I blinked and it's Friday, but we have got a lot done, a lot accomplished this week. And in the middle of all that was a town council meeting. And so, Magnolia, I'm going to come over to you first and let you kind of talk through maybe the action plan and the draft there and where folks can get that. And I know I've been out of the office yesterday, but one of the things we're going to try and do today is get that draft plan up on our town website in addition to town social media too. So anyway, I know you helped put that together, so I'm going to stop talking and turn it over to you about the action plan.
I am going to try to share my screen so we can actually look at the action plan graphic, if it will.
Awesome. And while she's doing that, I will say that the town council also approved an event series with Food Art and Brew, and Monty Vega was here from Food Art and Brew and kind of gave the council some updates and some ideas and some bands that are going to be here for the 2023 Fab series. And so those are all approved starting in April, going all the way through October. So April through September, those will be the first Friday of every month right here in downtown Rutherfordton from 5 o'clock to roughly 9:30, 10 o'clock on Central Street. And then in October, it will be the Friday before Halloween. I don't have that date right in front of me because my calendar of events is on my door and my door is closed. But it will be the Friday before Halloween in October. So April through September, first Friday of every month. And then October, it will be the last Friday, or probably the last Friday of the month is the way that would work. As
and
a
the
special
tab
plug,
series is also published on our 2023 event calendar too.
and unfortunately, mine is on the front side of my door, which is closed, so I couldn't quickly look up any of the dates. And then also, along with those first Fridays, is Fantastic Fridays at Kid Census. So keep in mind that that is a free admission day at Kid Census, meaning you could come have some fun, get ready for Fab. Take the kids to Kid Census, let them burn out a little bit of energy, go down, get some great food, listen to some great music, get some great arts and crafts, maybe even go back to Kid Census and then head on home after you went to Main Street Coffee and Ice Cream to get a nice scoop on the way out.
All right. Well, I finally figured out how to share my screen. So this is the draft 2023 action plan. So we asked the community, we had a community survey open for almost the entire month of December and into January about things that they wish the town did more of and less of and things that we can improve on. So we took all of that information along with surveys of our department heads and our town council. And we spent a lot of time working. It was like a late Thursday evening. I think it was for three and a half hours that we sat there really sifting through all of the data, trying to find the common ideas and the things that were mentioned across the board. And from there, we grouped them together in categories that made sense. So we have 4 categories of best in governance, balanced economic development, community building, and neighborhood stabilization and housing. So, Doug, were you going to say something? I
was just going to say, I had a couple citizens ask me like, "Hey, when are y'all going to publish the data from that survey?" And I was like, "Well, we showed it to the town council, and I don't mind if you want to look at it. I don't mind sharing it with you, but we really weren't going to publish it because we didn't publish, the other survey data. But what I can guarantee you, as being a part of that meeting and kind of leading the meeting and going through the data to put it together." Where there were commonalities. So, there were a lot of one-off things that folks had, and some of those were great, and I think 1 or 2 of them actually made it in the plan. But where there started to be commonalities of ideas, 99% of those made it into the action plan. So if this is just the graphic, we're going to share the graphic and the document. The document is about 7 pages long, but really about 4 pages of meat and potatoes, and it's not a hard read. Would love for the community to read that because it's on the town council agenda for March to be approved. So it's not too late to get something added, not too late to have your voice heard if you missed that survey time. And this is really our framework, our roadmap for the next 2 years. We do these action plans on a biannual basis, and it gives us time as staff, as local elected leaders, and then our partners in our nonprofits, in our foundations and community groups to work together towards a common goal.
I actually have. Hold on, I can.
Yeah, I don't mind sharing the data. We're transparent as transparent gets, but just wasn't something in the cards for us. But I want to be honest with y'all. Y'all gave us your information. We'll be glad to do that. While she's pulling that up, some other information from the town council. We also signed off on our VW grant. So we were awarded a VW grant through Clean Air, DWQ Clean Air program, on the VW settlement for their diesel issues. And so the town is going to be awarded a brand new Ford F-750 trash truck. So we have a truck that's about 23 years old, an old GMC that will actually be destroyed, get that dirty diesel off the road, put a new diesel on the road. About $171,000 value, free to the town of Rutherford. So excited about that. That's on order, and hopefully it'll be on the road here in Rutherford servicing our refuse routes sometime later this year.
All right, so this is the meat and potatoes that Doug was talking about. So it's our full 2023 action plan. It's still a draft, like Doug said.
Those actually could be potatoes too that they're working with.
It's actually worms.
Worms.
Yeah. We opened a can of worms, I guess.
We have. We so have. Okay.
So this is just like the intro stuff. For some reason, this is not working. Hold on.
Minor technicalities this morning on Brewtiful Mornings. We're trying to do more with less. We're trying to give you more information through Brewtiful Mornings. I hope everybody's enjoying the phone a friend theme. If you've got ideas for phone a friend, we're definitely need to. I'm seeing a theme here with Scoop. So I'm thinking next week we need to find out when Scoop is opening, maybe a couple of the flavors that are going to be there, some theme stuff. So Amy, if you're down for phone a friend for next Friday, shoot me a text. Let me know. We need some more information about what's going on with Scoop and when we can expect y'all to open. So in other news on the town council, we celebrated the groundbreaking for fire station number 2 last month. They've started the grading work. The steel building has arrived here in Rutherford County. And so if we get a couple of those dry days, I know Kevin was talking about 6 more weeks of rain. We don't need that for the construction project. So if we can get some dry days, that building is going to start coming out of the ground pretty soon. So we're really excited about that project. All right, Magnolia, did you get it to work? Oh, yeah, you did. Look.
Finally, I had to close it and reopen it. So it's like the basic, technology solution.
Yeah, that's why we're not on national TV. We're just right here on Facebook Live.
Yeah, thank God. But obviously, it still has the key ideas that the graphic had, the best in governance and the balanced economic development. But it goes way more into detail about what those specific goals are that the town has to achieve in the next 2 years. So obviously, we want to diversify our staff and provide excellent benefits to them. And really ensure that the vision and the core values of the town is being reflected in everyday service in our everyday lives. And then for balanced economic development, I think this was one of the biggest things that we could work on that was identified in the community survey. So we understand, we are hurting too about a new grocery store. We're hurting too about diversifying our retail and restaurant options in our downtown area. And so we have put this on paper, and it is going to be plastered on everybody's office walls and the town council wall. It is going to be a constant reminder of these are the things that we want to be working towards and making sure that happens. And then community building, this was a huge emphasis in the community survey as well, of we want more town events. We want to participate more in community gathering spaces. So really identifying the ways that we can do that through building a new town hall and a new community gathering space, or leveraging our historical assets like the Beckler House, because most of the time I forget that it's on 6th Street and that I can go there anytime and visit. So, and then really bolstering our community events like Fab Fest and Movies in the Park and our Hilltop Fall Festival, which will be coming back October 7th. And then
I'm not going to release the information that we know about Hilltop Fall Festival right now, but stay tuned.
It is probably the biggest news of 2023.
There is some epic things that we are doing for Hilltop Fall Festival 2023, and you are going to want to be in the know about that. You are going to make sure to have October the 7th on your calendar blocked off to be on Main Street.
And we promise it's not fireworks this year.
Nope. Even better.
Even much better. But then going back, bolstering our internet access, that was a huge thing on the community survey. And then prioritizing arts and murals in our downtown. And then continue to improve the assets of our recreation. And then lastly, housing is an issue. Housing has been something that we've been working on for a really long time. But again, we've put those certain actions that we can achieve in the next 2 years into this plan. So I did upload it to our website. So if you just go to rutherfordton.net and just search for 2023 action plan, it'll pop up. So it's there for you to read. And please let us know if you have any comments, questions, suggestions, things that we can improve or change.
Janice, that is actually one of the goals in the action plan. You are reading your town staff and your town local elected officials' brains. That is one of the things that we are working extremely hard on. So you are spot on, and your comments are in that plan. I can guarantee it. Good morning, Ginger. We're thankful you're here too, and we're thankful for everybody that lives here in Rutherfordton. We also at the town, yeah. So thanks, Magnolia. So that's live on the website. We'll share it on social media a couple of times. Again, it's not 100% voted on yet. So if you've got comments just like Janice had, and again, her comment is in there. That is spot on. That is great feedback because it validates what we heard. It validates what was talked about by the local elected officials and the mayor, and then put into the plan. And so keep that validation coming, keep your comments coming, especially when you see it on social media. Drop comments of, help us validate the comments that you want to see, because we'll report those to the town council at their March meeting to give them more confidence in what they're moving forward as the plan. And if there's things we've missed, let us know. We're not perfect. Maybe you didn't see the survey or get a chance to see it. And maybe you do have a wonderful, great idea that we can get put into the plan. So that's the point of doing the draft, leaving it out there for 30 days to get that public comment. At the meeting, we also went over a little issue we're having with our curbside collections and audit there. And so some of you have received a letter this week from me explaining an issue that we have found in our computer billing software with Broad River Water Authority, where unbeknownst to the town and unbeknownst to our staff, there were folks that were benefiting from trash and recycle collection services and unfortunately not paying for those services. So the town is not looking to back bill anybody or put any collections or anything like that. We're going to continue to collect those services, but we need to change and update the software to make sure that everybody pays their fair share. So that ended up being a much larger audit than we anticipated. And so if you received a letter in the mail, I've talked to numerous folks over the week and be glad to talk to anybody about, what's going on there. But for anybody that got a letter in the mail, your account is one of the accounts that was being audited. And so you'd be watching your Broad River Water Authority bill for new fees and charges there. Not anything new just to your account. Those have been charged to our other 1,200 plus accounts for the last couple of years. And there's a story in today's Daily Courier that kind of goes over some of that as well. Or you can go back and watch the town council meeting, not to drum that up again. But if you did get a letter, my cell phone number is in that letter. Just give me a call. I'll be glad to talk to you about it. Or shoot me an email. There have been a handful of citizens that have shot me an email, and be glad to give them more information via email as fast as possible. And then the last thing, there is another article in the paper today, and I want to kind of set that story just a little bit straighter than what the headline says. And so the town council is trying to work with our local state delegation, Representative Jake Johnson, who is our House representative for the North Carolina General Assembly, and Senator Tim Moffitt, who is our local senator for the North Carolina General Assembly. They crafted a letter basically asking them to sit down and craft some legislation that could potentially lead towards the town having the authority to ask the voters for a 1/4-cent sales tax that would be administered locally here in Rutherfordton. And so for those that have lived in the county for a while, that 1/4-cent sales tax thing is not new. The county had that option for the school system a few years ago. And many of you know that 1/4-cent sales tax countywide went to a local referenda for school systems, for building and constructing schools. And what we see as the fruits of that are the new RS Middle School and what is going to happen at the old RS Middle School campus with the new kind of facilities campaign that they're doing there. And I think the third one on the list was Cliffside Elementary that they're making plans for now. Nothing new to that. And so the town is basically asking for that same authority for a 1/4 to be levied here in the town to reduce the dependence on the backs of our property owners, to reduce the dependence on our property tax, to give additional funding for economic development, infrastructure, and government facilities, for facilities that help us reach the goals of the action plan, that can do community gathering, and provide great government facilities for you and for services, but moreover for infrastructure. So that 1/4 could generate as much as 5 to 6, even 7 pennies on the tax rate. And it's a more equitable distribution for everybody that's coming into town and taking advantage of the town services, not just the taxpayers that live here. So It is not that that is not an imminent thing. That will be a very big education piece. That will be something that will have to get General Assembly authority. It's a heavy lift. It's not something that's been easy in the past, and so I don't think it's going to be an easy road now. But it'll all come back to ensuring that our citizens have a voice in that it's on a local election ballot. So that's what the town council is looking for, is to protect and diversify the revenue stream so that it's not all, we're not asking just the taxpayers who own property here in Rutherfordton to help finance things moving forward. So I think it's a very wise economic decision that your council is making.
And that is literally just to ask if we can work together to create some sort of legislation that would allow us to do that.
That is absolutely correct. This is not going into effect tomorrow. This is not, this is simply an ask to start that process, to have that conversation.
And I think like one of the biggest, I guess, I don't want to call it a slogan, but one of the biggest things about working in government is nothing goes fast. Like nothing works fast in government. So, and this holds true. This makes that true for sure.
Now, there are a few things that work fast in government. Like, remember when we used to do the soapbox derby? Those things were pretty fast.
I wasn't here for that.
What? All right.
That was before my time.
Challenge accepted.
Okay. Oh, speaking of things that work fast in government, tomorrow at Ruffton Roots, we have a work day. We are kind of cleaning and prepping for the spring season. So obviously it is still very cold outside, but the land prep starts now. So we're going to be, I want to say it's from 10 to 2 or 11 to 2, but we'll be out at the garden, or not 2, 1 p.m. Let me double check the time.
While you're double checking that, tomorrow from 10 o'clock to 1 o'clock at the Woodrow Jones Building, 146 North Main Street, is also a winter farmers market. So stop by 146 North Main Street, the Woodrow Jones Building on the corner of North Main and Court, kind of right up the block from Norris Library, and check them out. It's a winter farmers market day. So I know they've got some folks that are growing stuff in hoop houses. So there's plenty of greens that'll be available. There were meats available, honeys, spices, all kinds of crafts. Check them out tomorrow. That'll be from 10 to 1 at the Woodrow Jones Building, 146 North Main, for our winter farmers market.
It is 11 to 1 for Ruffton Roots. So we'll just be having a winter work day. So definitely stop by the farmers market first thing, come over to the garden to work out for even 30 minutes. Like, we are just thankful for somebody who's at least willing to come to the garden. So and then at our town council meeting, Dot and Lindy were recognized with the I Caught You Caring Award for going above and beyond the call of duty in trust, care, and commitment to the community.
You got it.
Yes.
You got it.
So I wasn't, I didn't speak up, but really, like, without Dot and Lindy and their leadership and commitment to the garden, like, the garden would not be anywhere. It wouldn't be anywhere where it is right now. So they've poured so much of themselves into the garden and made sure that everything happened. I'm happy to sit here and write grants, but I know absolutely nothing about gardening. I've learned a whole lot since the start of Ruffton Roots, but I'm just so beyond thankful for everything that they've done.
Yeah. And like I said in the meeting, Magnolia, you've done a great job fertilizing and helping feed and water Rutherfordton Roots. I mean, you are the behind the scenes magic that makes the garden what it is. But, like we talked about when you came on board and even before you, we really needed that community champion that could be the face of the community. That was the person that could help lead the charge for the garden. Somebody that knew about gardening, somebody that could help motivate beyond the walls of town hall. Not to undersell what you've been doing, but we just needed that community champion. We felt like that was the linchpin in making sure that this thing blossomed beyond our wild expectations. And that's where Dot and Lindy have come in and really been just beyond amazing into what has been Rutherfordton Roots. So just wanted to say thank you to both of them. It was funny too, because you absolutely. So it was funny because, Lindy, you had come on board. We were talking about community garden. We had kind of laid a framework. We already had a plan in place, and we were just kind of waiting on that champion. And Lindy came to a town council meeting, and she's like, I just wish we had a garden, kind of, telling the council about, the goals for a garden. And I could see your face from my position in the council. And you're thinking like, wait a minute, lady, we're working on that. I could see like the look on your face, like, come on, I'm working on that. Nobody knows it yet. And then to see the two of you guys partner, and then her comments go from just, the comments to real life action over the last couple of years has just been amazing. So thank you both. Anyway.
And I don't want to get on a high horse or soapbox about grad school, but I'm in a public service leadership class right now. And we've been talking a lot about collective leadership. And that's whenever you have this collective vision that you're working towards. And it's not just one single person at the top, like telling other people what to do. It is everybody taking part in that vision and doing everything that they can and pulling on the strengths of other people. And I really think that me and Lindy have been that. I don't know, like that in application, that in real life, like we've pulled on each other's strengths and we've really worked together to make all of that happen. So I'm all about collective leadership. I'm so thankful that Lindy's by my side, and I couldn't have done it without her.
All right. So Kevin's asking about a post on an announcement on this page. Has that been made already? Did I miss it? Nope, you did not miss it, Kevin. So that announcement on the post is going to be happening in this month's edition of the Rutherfordton Sun. So it publishes on the day after Valentine's Day, the 15th, right?
Yep.
So the 15th, this month's Rutherfordton Sun will be hot off the press. Make sure you are signed up for the Rutherfordton Sun. And we've got a big announcement in the Sun that will only be announced in the Sun first. And so that's where you'll get the latest and greatest information about what's going on with the town of Rutherfordton.
Okay, and here's the link to sign up for the Rutherfordton Sun. So it'll come directly to your inbox. It normally happens like late Wednesday afternoon on the 15th. But we have some good stuff that's going in that issue. So I'm really excited.
Yep. All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in this morning. I saw the comment from Amy. So, Amy, I'll touch base with you before next week, and we'll get you in on the phone a friend. So stay tuned for some information on Scoop. Y'all have seen Amy Brevard and the Scoop Rutherfordton logo coming through and commenting awesomely. So we're excited about them with their new location over on Charlotte Road. They'll be just a stone's throw and an easy walk away from the Purple Martin and downtown Rutherfordton. So we're excited to have them dishing up some great frozen treats downtown soon.
And Town Hall.
I know, right? Near the post office.
Right.
Yeah.
We have a
and
joke
so,
about whenever we say that we're going to the post office, we actually go get ice cream.
So yeah, we'll have Amy on. We'll get some insider information from her about Scoops. And if you've got other comments, other friends that you want us to check in with over the next couple weeks, please reach out to me, Magnolia, or just drop us a comment or a direct message on my Rutherfordton, and we'll be glad to reach out to those. Again, have a great weekend. Tomorrow's a fun day in Rutherfordton. Matter of fact, for our youth, you guys can go to the farmers market, get you some good stuff at the farmers market. You can go over to the community garden, do help on the work day, and then wrap it up over at Hope Works for their 80s teen vibe night. So plenty of stuff going on tomorrow, plenty of things to do over the weekend, and we're looking forward to another great week next week here in Rutherfordton. So Magnolia, thanks for everything this morning. I know we kind of worked through some stuff. Hopefully everybody enjoyed that, and we will be back next week.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
If I could find